it.
Games.
Hi, my name is James, and this is James Loves Games. I'm going to be starting a new series on the show where I'm teaching the viewers how to speak Japanese. So, I know normally I talk a lot about games, and since that's the name of the show, James Loves Games, I've been studying Japanese for about 15 years or so, and I thought it would be fun to pass some of that knowledge off to other people who are interested in learning the language, because it certainly enriched my life in many different ways. It helps a lot if you want to play different games, if you want to play some Japanese games, or you want to just learn stuff about Japan where a lot of games are made, or if you want to work for one of those big game companies in Japan. Learning Japanese is very helpful, of course. So that's what I'm here to do. So today, for the first couple of lessons, we're just going to be going over the different alphabets in Japanese. Now, there are 3 alphabets in Japanese. There's Hiragana, Katakana, and Kanji. And today, I'm going to be talking about Hiragana. Now, this is Hiragana. This is the basic letter group if you want to learn Japanese. This is kind of the default for Japanese words and language. But there's also Katakana, which is used for loan words like English words or words from other countries that Japanese people use on a daily basis. And then there's Kanji, which are symbols that come from China, and they have sort of a meaning within the symbol. They're sort of like pictograms, and how they're used is totally different from how these are used. But today we're just going to be talking about Hiragana. Now, it is a phonetic alphabet, and so each of these symbols has a certain sound to it, and it's always going to be that sound in Japanese. I know in English there are lots of combinations of letters and things like that where sometimes you don't know how a word is pronounced just by looking at it, and it can be confusing. But the good thing about learning Japanese is no matter what combo of these letters you see, it's always going to sound exactly the way you think it's going to sound. So that's a good thing. The only problem is that there's 46 characters as opposed to 26 in English. And unfortunately, the only good way to learn these is just to drill them and memorize them. I suggest using flashcards. Maybe start with 5 at a time, knock it out that way, but it is going to take a lot of just drilling and crunching and study to get all this stuff memorized. But as you can see, the structure, there's 5 columns, and the whole language is based off of 5 vowel sounds. There's A, I, U, E, and O. And almost all of these letters or sounds are going to come from those basic vowel sounds. We have A, I, U, E, O, and then we have Ka, Ki, Ku, Ke, Ko, Sashi, Su, Se, So, Tachi, Tsute, To, etc., etc. And so if you've got those basic vowel sounds down, you've got the sound of Japanese right coming out of your mouth. And that's important. I mean, with any language, you're going to need to be pronouncing everything correctly. But in Japanese especially, because it's a phonetic alphabet. So I'll just go through all of these rows one at a time just to make sure we get the pronunciation right. So we'll start at the beginning. We have A, I, U, E, O. Ka, Ki, Ku, Ke, Ko. Sa, Shi, Su, Se, So. Now the T row is where things get a little bit complicated, just a little bit. So we have Ta, but instead of T, this one is Chi. So it's Ta, Chi, and instead of Tu, it's Tsu. So it's kind of a TSU sound, Tsu. Te, To. So we have Ta, Chi, Tsu, Te, To. Then we have the Na one, Na, Ni, Nu, Ne, No. Ha, Hi. This one's a little bit weird. It's sort of between a hu and a fu. So you kind of have to make it somewhere in between those two. So you have ha, hi, hu, he, ho. This is what they use for like Fuji-san. It's not quite Fuji-san and it's not quite Fuji-san. It's kind of in the middle. It's a hu. Ha, hi, hu, he, ho. Ma, mi, mu, me, mo. Very straightforward. Then we have the Y row. So this one is missing 2, as you can tell. We only have ya, you, and yo. So there's no yi and there's no ye. It's just ya, you, yo. And then we have the R row. And this one's a little bit tricky to pronounce as well, just because it's not quite an R sound and it's not quite an L sound. It's somewhere in the middle. So it's la. La, li, lu, le, lo. La, li, lu, le, lo. So if you can kind of combine the ra and the la to where your tongue is kind of, it's sort of halfway between those two sounds, then you're going to sound right coming out of that. So la, li, lu, le, lo. And then we have wa, o, and n. This is just a straight up n sound. N. And that's basically all of hiragana. These are all the basic sounds. There are a few instances where we'll learn about later where you can make some of these smaller to make little contraction sounds, like cha. Instead of chi-ya, you make a small ya and it makes a cha. But that's for another lesson. This is just the basics. If you can learn all these, then you're well on your way to reading and writing and speaking Japanese. But just be sure to practice the sounds. Make sure that you're getting the sounds right from the very beginning so you don't form any bad habits. And just do a Google image search and you can find all sorts of helpful posters and printouts of hiragana. So there's a children's song that you can listen to. I'm sure you can find a YouTube video. It's called the A-I-U-E-O no Uta. It's the A-I-U-E-O song. And it's a good way just to listen to it, get a feel for how the sounds are supposed to sound, and a good way to memorize it. And one thing that helped me when I was starting out in Japanese is I just wrote these down constantly. I mean, if I had free time, I would just try to remember these and write them all down on the ledger of my notebook when I was in school, just all day, every day. And the sides of all my notebooks are just full of hiragana and katakana. And it's a really good way to learn it, just to keep practicing the order and everything like that. And as far as the order goes, it is like this. So it starts with a, and it would just be a-i-u-e-o, kaki-ku-ke-ko, all the way down with n being the last sound in the alphabet. That's it for hiragana. Stay tuned for the next video. We're going to talk about katakana, we're going to talk about kanji, and then we're going to get into grammar and all sorts of things like that. So thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please like it. Please subscribe if you want to see more things like this. Once again, thank you for watching. I'm James, and this is James Loves Games. Bye.